Hey everybody, today's video is going to be a little bit different from what we normally do. Today we're going to talk a little bit about the evolution of the characters in Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super. Just a heads up, this video may contain spoilers about this series, so if you're a little salt about spoilers, I suggest that you skip past those parts. Today's video will talk mostly about how Goku and Vegeta have changed in the series, but we'll make sure to cover some of the other characters as well. If you're looking for a deeper analysis of the minor characters, let us know and we can do a video on the others individually. So let's mention some of our minor characters. In Dragon Ball Super, most of our characters have taken a back seat in the importance department when it comes to fighting. However, some characters continue to have less importance but continued character development. One of the best examples of this is Gohan. Gohan is a character that I could spend a lot of time on. He was a favorite of mine back in the DBZ days. While Gohan has been changing for some time, we see more of a drastic turn in Dragon Ball Super. Gohan has evolved from the schoolboy that he was into a working family man. I think we could have expected this change, it's kind of been a long time coming, but going forward in the series, I think his importance revolves around his daughter Pan and the role she might play in the future. From Gohan, we move to the most logical next choice, which is Piccolo. Piccolo is on my list as being one of the characters that have changed the most. He's taken a back seat for most of the series and is spending most of his time catering to Gohan before Pan is born. His presence in the show is pretty absent, and he doesn't really seem to appear in many of the episodes between the Super Saiyan God fight and when Frieza comes back to Earth. Early in the series, we can see him following Gohan around, scowling at him from afar, possibly because Gohan wasn't training anymore. We all know how Piccolo works. But that old Piccolo goes away quickly, and we see him helping out Gohan quite often. At the very least, I'm happy to see that they continued the almost maternal relationship between Gohan and Piccolo. Piccolo has been an ever-evolving character in the series, but in Super, he's almost completely useless. The wisdom and insight he brought to the table in Z will surely be missed. Rip Piccolo.
Gohan, blow the whistle! Blow the whistle which you played for me! 100 Dragon Dance!
With that being said, let's move on to Goku. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku has changed quite a bit. One thing that hasn't changed much is his intelligence. If anything, it's slightly decreased, possibly for comic relief. The biggest change that we see from Goku is his overconfidence. Sure, he's always been overconfident, but it's a tune we hear a lot in Super. On multiple occasions, both Whis and Beerus tell Goku that he's overconfident. Goku has always shown a high level of confidence in his abilities, but in Super, that seems to be more prevalent. There are a few quick one-liners that I really didn't expect to hear from Goku when he was fighting Beerus. In Dragon Ball Super, it seems like Goku takes more time to pick on Vegeta. A great example of this is when Vegeta is fighting Beerus after he slaps Bulma. Goku admits later that he was there the whole time. What's the first thing he does when he shows up? He makes fun of Vegeta for saying, "My Bulma." In Dragon Ball Z, he was challenging Vegeta, but in a different way. It was much more subtle, and in Z, it seemed as though Goku was challenging Vegeta only to help his continued progression. In Dragon Ball Super, Goku talks down to Vegeta a lot, and that's probably my least favorite trait out of all of the character development so far. In one of the later episodes, Goku and Vegeta are training under Whis. Beerus is sleeping and ends up doing a huge blast that Vegeta and Goku are caught up in. Goku then decides to say, "I'm surprised you survived that, Vegeta. I barely did." Clearly insinuating that, well, if Goku barely survived, he's really surprised that Vegeta was even able to. Goku spends an awful amount of time comparing himself to Vegeta in Dragon Ball Super. I hope that this is just a step in Goku's character development, and that in later episodes, as he and Vegeta continue to work and fight together, that their relationship becomes even better and Goku stops comparing himself to Vegeta all the time. Speaking of Vegeta, he's the character that, in my opinion, has changed the most out of all of the characters in Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball Super and all of the Dragon Ball series. When we think of Vegeta, the first thing that comes to mind is, of course, his pride. For a while, he's had to swallow his pride, and he's always done it with flair. But in Super, it's almost on a completely different level. Not only is he more tolerant, we see him caring about others more than he ever has. Early in the series, he even goes out on a day in the city with Trunks and Bulma. He's not as hot-headed as he used to be. While he can certainly still be hot-headed if he wants to be, by the time he goes to train with Whis, he's already changed a great deal. Something that hasn't changed, however, is his want to be better than Goku. We still get the classic Vegeta episode where he's standing on the cliff hammering about how he's going to be the strongest. Out of all the characters, Vegeta has proved that it's not too late to change the mind and heart of a grumpy space prince. Now there's a lot more to compare on all of these characters, and there's some characters that we didn't touch on in this video because it would simply make it too long. Characters like Krillin, Android 18, Videl, Chichi. You wouldn't think that Chichi has really changed much, but she's crazier than she's ever been. Let us know what characters you'd like to see us cover in a separate video. What do you think? Which character changed the most in Dragon Ball Z to Dragon Ball Super? This is Kevin from the Eligible Monster team, and we'll see you guys next time, right here.